Originally formed in 1943 and dedicated to sports and civic betterment, the Tacoma Athletic Commission has been a leader in preserving the history of sports locally. With the opening of the Sports Museum at the Tacoma Dome in 1994, followed by the publication of Playgrounds to the Pros 2 years ago, the Banquet of Champions is a continuation of the TAC's commitment to honor individuals and recognize their athletic achievements. You don't have to like the water to win the Amateur Athlete of the Year award, but don't tell that to Dick Hanula, whose name appropriately graces the award. A fondness for water certainly didn't hurt this year's winners, however. Diver Kellen Harkness, a senior at Ohio State University, and swimmer Megan Jendrick. A four-time Big Ten scholarship recipient, Harkness was not only the Big Ten 3-meter diving champion, but was the 2007 NCAA runner-up at the national championships and is now training for the Olympic team. Jendrick, an Olympic gold medalist in 2000, balances school, married life, coaching, and swimming. She captured a silver medal in the 200-meter breaststroke at the World Championship in March to go with 2 first-place finishes in the Washington Speedo Championship Series. The First Family of Sports Award recognizes the contributions of parents, foster parents, or guardians who instill and help maintain athletes' successes. And if you're trying to think of a deserving family for 2007, how about one that has the market cornered on names? Scott, Sis, Tom, Clint, and Paula names, to be exact. Starting with Sis and Scott, the tally is 3 children, 10 grandchildren, and 21 great-grandchildren. Yes, the names have done more than their fair share when it comes not only to participating in athletics, but providing equipment over the years, as well as athletic facilities for the community to enjoy. Which 2 athletes best epitomize the principles of teamwork this year to earn the MVP Physical Therapy Awards? Why, none other than Lincoln High fullback Roman Tinatali Pula, who set the all-time City League career rushing record as the Abe's fullback. And Alicia Babbitt, a 4-sport athlete at Spanaway Lake High, who has been one of the top fast-pitch pitchers in the SPSL for the past several years, in addition to competing in bowling, cross-country, and volleyball. Our 2007 Columbia Bank Student Athletes of the Year are 3-time state golf champion Andrew Putnam of Life Christian Academy, and track stars Katrina Drennan of Sumner and Angela Jensen of Fife, both ranked high nationally. Drennan has a 3.7 GPA, and Jensen's is 3.5, while Putnam logs in with a 3.94. This year's class of 2007 inductees into the Tacoma Pierce County Sports Hall of Fame covers the spectrum from coaching greats to stalwart athletes, to those in striped shirts who try to keep players, coaches, and fans happy on and off the quarter field. Let's take a quick look at this year's honorees and some of their finer moments. First up is 4-time National Hot Rod Association World Champion Pat Austin, who has 75 national titles to his credit and is considered the most successful NHRA drag racer born after the 1940s. We can thank Dick and Wanda Boness for their love of auto racing and for operating Spanaway Speedway for over 40 years and providing good family entertainment. The Speedway was a place for many racers to ply their craft, including Derek Cope, a former Daytona 500 winner, and local stock car legend Ron Eaton. Let's not forget that during the 1960s, Tacoma was considered the hotbed of soapbox derby racing in the entire country, with 5 Tacomans placing in the top 10 at the Nationals in Akron, Ohio. In 1964, Greg Schumacher became our area's first national champion at age 14. And 2 years later, it was David Crusoe's turn to bask in the glory, and he returned to Tacoma with a hero's welcome and parade befitting the 1966 national champ. We dip back to the 1940s and salute crafty left-hander Pete Sabutis, who pitched for the 1947 Tacoma Tigers of the Western International League, as well as several championship City, Sunset, and Valley League teams. As artistic as Sabutis was with his pitches, Big John Bregenzer just came at you with a nasty sinker and a blazing fastball, and before you knew it, you were headed back to the dugout. Lincoln's Vern Cahoot enjoyed a pro career with the San Francisco Seals of the Pacific Coast League and the Bremerton Blue Jackets of the Western International League, and then continued his career locally, pitching for several City League teams, including the Cheney Studs. Ed Hardenbrook's ability to push all the right buttons more often than not earned him plaudits with his glossy coaching record at Lakes High School, culminating with a state baseball championship in 1974. Bethel High product Mike Blauer set career highs during the Mariners' magical 1995 run to a division title and a spot in the American League Championship Series, and his 3 Grand Slams in August are forever etched in the minds of many. An 11-year major leaguer, could he really be interested in a spot in the Broadcasters Hall of Fame? In basketball, we salute Puyallup High's Ron Crow, who went on to sizzle the nets at Western Washington University, earning induction into that school's Hall of Fame. Another standout Viking who was a terror on the football field for Puyallup and CPS was Rich Hammermaster. However, he may be more noted for his coaching longevity at Puyallup High, which included a boys' state championship in 1971. Jerry Clyde is firmly entrenched in the Washington State Coaches Basketball Hall of Fame by virtue of his 390-192 career record in 26 years at Ording High, where the Cardinals won a state title in 1983. On the girls' side, Shelley Flamo Miller had a standout basketball career at Bellarmine and Oregon State, where she received all Pac-10 honors and is still third on the school's all-time scoring list. Jerry DeLaurenti's basketball credentials at Puyallup High include over 450 wins and placing 5 times in the state tournament with a total of 11 appearances before moving on to lead several programs at Ording High with equal success. One of the most dominating players in girls basketball is Donya Monroe, who was an all-South Puget Sound League center for 3 years and capped her career off with MVP honors while leading the Clover Park Warriors to a state championship in 1982. Monroe would be the first to give props to her teammates and coaches, Jim Angelell and Joel Parker, because the 24-1 record achieved by the Warriors in 1982 was a total team effort that translated into success that is carried over into their professional careers. A team that took 5th in state the previous year, the Warriors returned 6 seniors: Michelle Clark, Kathy Taylor, Netra McGrew, Darlene Seaman, Karen Turner, and Monroe marched through the season undefeated until losing 58-43 to Bellevue in the district semifinals. Utilizing their younger players such as Becky Davis, Kathy Schumach, Ruth Rufner, Marianne Johnson, and Allison Lotspeech, Clover Park bounced back to earn a spot in the state tournament with a 22-1 record. The team rolled on, and in a battle between South Puget Sound League teams, the Warriors defeated Auburn 52-47 for the state crown. For Angelell, son of TPC Hall of Famer Mitch Angelell, it was another state placing in a long and illustrious career, starting when, as a player, he helped the Stadium Tigers to a third-place finish in the 1957 state basketball tournament, and then added 2 second-place state finishes in track as head coach. The basketball crown, however, catapulted him to the limelight, and he not only garnered Girls Basketball Coach of the Year, but also the State Coaches Association Girls Coach of the Year honors, an award that covered all girls sports. Luann Moore heads up our list of bowlers with 10 all-star team appearances to her credit, along with several state tournament crowns. Larry Fulton has earned 24 Tacoma All-Star Team honors in his 40-year bowling career, along with 2 top 10 finishes in national competition. And close friend Jerry Ledbetter has enjoyed equal success on the alleys with 18 sanctioned 300 games. Ledbetter represented the U.S. at the World Championships in 1987 in Helsinki, Finland, one of the many highlights in an illustrious career. Johnny Bumpus inflicted his share of bumps and bruises as he tallied a remarkable 341-16 record as an amateur fighter and earned a spot on the 1980 U.S. Olympic team. After turning pro, his southpaw led the way to the WBA light welterweight title in 1984. Without a doubt, the guru in the state when it comes to sports statistics is Don Davison, a sports reporter and copy editor for 40 years at the News-Tribune. His research on state tournament teams and individual results for the WIAA's 24-team sports is unsurpassed. So, too, the creative brain power of Dick Kunkel, another scribe with the Trib, whose legacy includes founder of the Sounds and Arrows race and the Star Track State High School Track and Field Championships. Figure skating has enjoyed a long and storied history in Pierce County, going back to the start of the Lakewood Figure Skating Club in 1938. But it was the dedication and love of the sport by Al and Aria Beeler that we can thank for a flourishing program that exists today. Whether it was judging, playing music, fixing skates, running the concession, selling tickets, or hiring skating pros, Al and Area were the driving force behind the success of the club. One of their best decisions was to import a young coach from Great Falls, Montana, who stuck around for 28 years. Kathy Casey enjoys elite status as one of the top coaches in the world and counts U.S. champions Rosalind Sumners and Tacoman Scott Davis among her many success stories. On the gridiron, we salute coaching stalwarts Ed Neal, who spent 15 years at the helm of the Bethel Braves, and Pat Hoonan, a fixture on the Rogers-Rams football field. Both men served their respective districts as athletic directors in a storied career. Undoubtedly, both would have welcomed Clover Park's Roy McCassin, an All-America center for the Huskies, Bellarmine's Mike Baldussin, who led the nation in tackles with 200 his senior year at Washington, and then played professionally for the San Francisco 49ers, and Mike Levenseller, a Curtis and WSU grad who has 2 Canadian Football League championship rings to his credit, and now roams the sidelines as a member of the Cougar coaching staff. Bob Johnson's success on the links was considerable as he competed on the PGA Tour for 5 seasons and won numerous amateur titles through Pierce County as well. Tiffany White Rowland, a Puyallup High grad, was a USA Gymnastics national team member in 1992 and won several national championships in the floor exercise and balance beam events. And then there's Bouncing Bob Malley, who was a leading motorcycle racing competitor before taking his entertaining and affable personality on the road as the official starter at racing venues up and down the coast. Yes, it is true. He did set a world record for the most consecutive cartwheels performed at a race. No, at age 69, he promises to be on his best behavior and will not try any tonight. Okay, time out. Let's take a breather and regroup because it sounds like the fans are getting restless. And who better to be our arbiters than Chuck Gilmer, Wayne Gardner, Ray Highsmith, and Dave Carone. They represent a stellar list of who's who in the circle of officiating. Gilmer, a top football and basketball referee, was no slouch on the basketball court with a pro career in the 1940s to his credit. Gardner finally stopped officiating volleyball just a few years ago, at age 92. Highsmith was a highly respected football referee in the Pac-10. And Carone, besides having a standout playing career, showed his versatility as a football and basketball referee and an umpire in baseball and softball. We can thank Sid Williams for the growth of racquetball in the state of Washington starting back in the early 70s with the formation of the Washington Racquetball Association, where most weekends he could be found playing or running tournaments. Similarly, Joe Laporte's love of snow skiing ended up with him serving as chief instructor of the Tacoma Ski School for 14 years before he started the Cascade Ski School in the late 1960s. His devotion to the sport contributed to the health and fitness of many in the area. Tacoma has been a hotbed of soccer since the Junior Soccer Association was formed in the early 1960s, and one of those founding fathers was Frank Hall, whose experience as a coach, referee, and administrator were invaluable over the years. He also helped form the Washington State Youth Soccer Association, and one of the Tigers who benefited was Foss's Brett Goulet, currently the first American-born player to coach a top-level club in Germany. A 4-time NAIA All-American, Goulet represented the U.S. in the 1988 Seoul Olympics, and later for his hometown Tacoma Stars. Guiding the Pacific Lutheran University women's soccer team to 3 national championships and 2 runner-up finishes in a 5-year span may never again be duplicated. But that's exactly what Colleen Hacker achieved during her 15 years as head coach of the Lady Lutes. A member of the U.S. women's national soccer team staff since 1996. Hacker serves as the team's sports psychology consultant and has been involved in the Olympics, Goodwill Games, and World Cup since then. If you think soccer is all she knows, guess again. She's also adept at field hockey, badminton, and team handball. Yes, team handball. Look it up or ask her. There was nothing bland about Betty Bland's game on the softball field. One of the game's premier players locally, Betty started her career as an outfielder with Lincoln Electric and helped lead them to 2 consecutive state fast-pitch championships in 1945 and 1946. Another fast-pitch standout was Jay Beach, who played for numerous teams before landing with Mankey & Sons in 1972. His veteran experience helped as the team upset the fabled Pay and Pack in 1974 to qualify for the national championships. These next three made a big splash in swimming, with Mike Stauffer first out of the blocks as a three-sport athlete at Wilson High in football, swimming, and track and field. After state records in the 50 and 100 freestyle, Mike went on to become a three-time All-American swimmer at the University of Minnesota. As a coach, he later won boys' state swim titles at Lakes High School in 1984 and 1985. Although only 15 when she enrolled at the University of Puget Sound, Sarah Rudolph Cole won 5 NCAA Division II national swimming events, earned All-American honors 4 straight years, and also received academic All-America recognition. The anchor leg belongs to Dan Wolfram, Foss swim coach for 32 years, who has 6 state titles to his credit. He was also a head age group coach for 25 years and has coached 104 All-American swimmers. A state 200-meter titleist from 1980 to 82 with 2 100-meter state championships, Clover Park's Donna Dennis is one of the state of Washington's all-time great sprinters. An NCAA finalist while at the University of Washington, Donna qualified as an alternate on the 1984 U.S. Olympic team in Los Angeles. Matching her stride for stride is Lincoln's Keith Tinner, himself a 3-time state champion in the 440-yard dash and a 2-time winner in the 220-yard dash. A member of the U.S. junior national team who also toiled for the Huskies. As a freshman, he ran the lead leg on the Huskies' 1975 national champion mile relay squad. Representing volleyball are Karen Goff Downs of Puyallup and Carla Reyes Redhair from Bellarmine. Goff helped lead the Vikes to a 3rd-place finish at state and then played at Montana, where the Grizzlies won 3 Big Sky championships. She earned first-team conference honors for 3 years and continues to hold numerous records. Carla was a league MVP her senior year at Bellarmine in volleyball, basketball, and softball, and led her team to a state softball title in 1986. She went on to enjoy a stellar volleyball career at WSU as a middle blocker and still holds several records. Wrestling their way into the final 2 spots are Lincoln's Vic Eschpeter and Fife's Ellsworth Finlayson. Both were 2-time state high school wrestling champions in 1953 and 1954, the first 2 years of statewide competition. Finlayson also played football at Fife. Eschpeter, on the other hand, wrestled at WSU for 3 years, served as a wrestling official for 39 years, and was inducted into the National Wrestling Hall of Fame in 2005. This closes another chapter on the Tacoma-Pierce County Sports Hall of Fame, and we hope you'll agree that the class of 2007 is a pretty impressive lot. Please join us as we congratulate them all on their outstanding careers.